0, 1. Let's get started.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Black and White United Show. I'm your host Andreas. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Today we're going to be looking at our preview of Collingwood versus Sydney Gather Round 2025. Let's get it. Today's video is brought to you by New Homes Victoria. If you're looking to design your own custom floor plan, give them a call today. They make it happen and you guys make it at home. Okay, it's Collingwood versus Sydney Gather Round. What are we going to make of this? Without Houston, without De Goey, and without Schultz, you're probably going to have a like-for-like change. My opinion would be you'd have Ed Allen, Will Hoskin-Elliott, and either Sullivan or Markov probably coming in because Markov can help out down back. Hoskin-Elliott can also do the roll down back. He can play sort of anywhere. So it's going to be sort of like-for-likes and even players that can play multiple positions. Ned Long starts. He'll start in the middle of this game, which I'm excited to see. What have Sydney got that's going to trouble us the most? Joel Amati is a fantastic forward. Brodie Grundy, we know, is a great ruckman, and he has a lot of second, third, fourth efforts getting into the positions in the midfield, like just attacking the footy and whatnot. Obviously, Warner's going to trouble us, but I think that's it. Tom Papley being out is bigger than what people probably understand because he always gives us trouble every week. Jordan's probably going to go to Dacos, we know that. But I just feel that we've got enough star power in there to, regardless of our outs, we're going to have players that are going to be like for like coming in. I've just got the feeling that we're going to be able to hold them off. I wouldn't be surprised if they did overrun us or we did lose this game, but I'm confident that we should get up, and I think we'll probably get up by about 3 goals. It is going to be a tight contest, 100%. But what people need to understand, and sometimes need to remind myself, is that this game is not being played at the SCG, where we let ourselves down there. We either start slow, end slow, have a patch in the middle. We just can't put together 4 quarters at the SCG. I think the last time we won at the SCG, was it 2017 or 2018? We may have won there. I can't remember. But I'm just hoping that we can put together a solid 4 quarter. If we put together a 4 quarter game and not just 10 minutes in the third quarter like we did against Carlton, but we put together a full 4 quarters, we won't lose this game. Now, I said this in my live last night, and I want to talk about it because I think our biggest asset in this game is Darcy Cameron. Right now, I think he's the best ruckman in the competition. He's the most influential and important player at Collingwood. He can dictate an entire game off his own boot and how he's playing. His tap ruck work, his intercept marking, I think he is so far ahead of other ruckmen in the competition. And I said this in my live last night, I'll say it again. After the first 10 minutes of the first quarter against Carlton, we barely saw Tom De Goey make an impact in the game. And that was thanks to Darcy Cameron. Now, yes, I think Carlton were missing Pitney. I think he's a good ruckman as well. He's a good backup ruckman and he relieves the pressure off De Goey. So I'll understand that part, but I'm not sympathising with them because I just think all in all, Darcy Cameron has overtaken Max Gawn. He is, I do think he's better than Sherry, and I think Sherry is a fantastic ruckman. I love the way he goes about it, but everything that Darcy Cameron is doing is what we have been screaming for at Collingwood, I believe, since even before Grundy, so the Darren Jolly days. Now, I think Darcy Cameron is the best ruckman Collingwood's ever had for what he does. Now, I know people will think, it's a bit of a far stretch, but really, it's not. What he does around the ground and not just his tap ruck work is second to none. And I'll go out on a limb and say that he's the best ruckman that I've seen put the black and white jumper on. And I'm comparing him to Damien Munkhurst, Darren Jolly, Jared Witts, Brodie Grundy, Josh Fraser, name the rest. So that's my personal opinion. Where is this game going to be won? For us, our goal kicking. Remember that? I think our goal kicking is the number one thing that's going to win us this game. I don't see it too much of an issue bringing the ball into the forward line this game, but we've got to hit the scoreboard. We've got to put scoreboard pressure on them from the start. I can see this game going one of two ways. Us dominating around the ground, it's a bigger ground, and we're just not putting it through. And then they just take it up on the rebound and score straight away. I don't want this to happen, because this is a game where if we can get 3 of our next 4 and set up our season going into, the game after Geelong, so we're talking like, mid-May, and we can really set ourselves up for a strong middle block of the season. And these games, the Sydney games are gathered around, the Easter game against Brisbane, Anzac Day against Essendon, they're so important because they're so winnable. So if we can have 3 out of the next 4, I think we're going to be in a fantastic position. We're going to rely on, like in these games, and I don't want to say it, but I think we will. I think we're going to rely a lot on, obviously, the 2 Dacos boys, Sidebottom and Pendlebury. So that is what it is then. But I want to see Bobby Hill come out this game and just tear it up. I want to see Bobby Hill have a game where it's like he's playing for the Indigenous All-Stars. I want to see Bobby Hill kick 6 this week. He needs to. I want to see Bo McCreary lift. I want to see Isaac Quainer go nuts. These are the players that can have a massive influence in this game, and the boys that do come in. So like whether it's a Hoskin Elliott and Ed Allen if he comes in, even if they somehow for some reason bring in Mason Cox for whatever reason, I want to see these guys just perform and get the job done. And we can do that. We've got, 3 really important players out. Schultz is probably the one that kills me the most, because I don't know, De Goey's made of glass a little bit, and Houston, bad luck. Stop doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we need you out there. Don't let the team down. Whatever. So, it hurts him not being, hurts me, and it'll hurt us as fans for him not being in there. But Schultz is the one, that pressure. He just reminds me of a Paul Medhurst. He reminds me of, and not because just he came from Freo, which is just a pure coincidence into what I said, but just his forward, his craft, his pressure, how he impacts the scoreboard. It might have taken him, a season longer than others to get into it, but it was a new system, premiership hangover, all this type of stuff. The way he goes about it in the forward line, it's just got the making of, Paul Medhurst 2.0. And that's something that you just love in our side. Him not being there is a big loss for us, but that just means McCreary, Elliott, and Bobby Hill, and potentially, a Hoskin Elliott or someone that comes in, a Sullivan, if he does come in too, these are the guys that are going to have to really just take so much ownership in this game, make it their own, play their style of football, nullify the opposition, and impact the scoreboard when it matters. And that goes out to McStay and Myercheck as well. Like that, if you're getting shots 25, 30 metres out directly in front, you need to be kicking those with your eyes closed. So that's where the game's going to be won. I think in our forward line, our midfield matches quite well. They've got a very fast midfield. I can also see someone like Isaac Heaney running rings around us and punching us through the middle and stuff. But I still think with Papley being out, it stuffs up their structure against us a bit, because he always matched up well against us. So we'll see how we go. My pick is Collingwood by 3 goals. I'm not going to be overly shocked if we don't get up, but at the same time, I would be disappointed, because this is a real winnable game for us. It's not at the SCG. It's in Adelaide. We have a good record there. So do the Swans, but we have a good record there. And I just think we might have a little bit more edge than them, and we will be able to get over the line. It's going to be a big one. Gather Round's fantastic. I went to Gather Round last year. It's awesome. If you are going up, take photos, take footage, take everything. Enjoy it. It's just a big festival of footy. There's not too much happening in Adelaide, but at the same time, they do put on a good show for Gather Round, so enjoy it while you can. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think. Make sure you call it as you see it. It's a big week of footy coming up. But as always, go the Pies.